The only thing I've not understood about you over the years is, I mean, you enjoy cricket, which is a real game. I've not understood why you enjoy that other slogathon. I mean,
baseball?
Yeah.
Baseball's a great game, mate.
Nonsense. Someone's just throwing a ball, someone's hitting it out of the ground, they're hitting cross-batted, there's no surface.
Hey, you know, how many runs would I have scored if I didn't play horizontal bat shots?
I mean, but you don't ever see anyone doing that.
Yes, you do, when they
just
bunt.
trying to get you worked up.
When they bunt, they do that. No. Baseball's a great game. And it was a wonderful game. You know, I was fortunate, I think, to play in an era in Australia where you had winter baseball and cricket in the summer. Nowadays, it's summer baseball as well.
Well, it's cricket 10 months a
yeah,
year.
but it's also summer baseball as well. So you can't play both, even if you wanted to. But I could, and I mean, I had an equal love for baseball as I had for cricket. And
but that's continued in Australia. You've got an American baseball coach helping your cricket team out.
Well, to me, that was an indication of John Buchanan's lack of knowledge of the game of cricket, because Australia had just lost Ian Healy, Mark Taylor and Mark Waugh. Now, your catching cordon is not going to improve when you lose those three guys. Three top-of-the-range catches behind the wicket. And Australia started dropping catches in that area behind the wicket. So Buchanan went to the board and said we need to improve our fielding. What he should have been saying is we need to improve our catching. Now, here's Youngie. I mean, Youngie's one of the best Australian, he is far and away the best Australian baseball coach that the country's ever had. But Youngie's scored a ball like that his whole life, with one hand and with a glove.
I can imagine you standing there at first slip. You're standing like this and you're standing like this.
Well, I'd have been okay because, you know, I'd played a lot of baseball as a catcher, catching one hand.
You wouldn't have had, your fingers would have lasted too long.
Well, I'd have lasted longer than someone who hadn't played baseball. But, yeah, I mean, here you've got, and I'll go in order of you know, you've got guys like Bob Simpson, who's the best slip fieldsman that I've ever seen. Greg Chappell, you've got Mark Taylor, you've got Mark Waugh. Any of those guys, you could have got them in to talk to fellas about catching in the slips. But Buchanan was able to get Youngie in there because the Australian Cricket Board, as they were then, the administrators don't understand the game properly. You know, I mean, if Bradman had been on the board, for instance, and Buchanan had gone forward with that idea, Bradman would have said, mate, that's rubbish. What we need is somebody to tell them how to catch in the slips.
Do you look back at the career and say there's unfinished business in the game?
Well, what, for me personally?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have retired.
Something you still want to see? Something you still want to see in the game?
Oh, see in the game, yeah. I mean,
no, I don't expect you to turn up and play number 3 for Australia tomorrow morning.
No. One of my great regrets in life will be that I didn't see Sehwags innings at Brabourne Stadium. You know, I actually thought, I remember the day that Barry Richards made the 300 in Perth. And I remember sitting there late in the afternoon and I was thinking, damn it, you know, I've never seen anyone make 300 in a day and I'm just going to fall short today because Barry's going to get about 280 if he bats the whole day. And he just suddenly, at about that point, he just suddenly got a move on and he went to 325. So great, you know, I've seen somebody actually make 300 in a day, which is, you know, it's one of the special things, I think, in the game of cricket because it happens so rarely. I was doing the commentary in Multan and Sehwag was absolutely going. And I reckon if Tendulkar hadn't come in and steadied Sehwag down, I reckon he might not have quite got 300 that day, but he'd have got damn close.
Which he did at the Brabourne Stadium.
He got 224, I think he was, or 228 or something by stumps. But I was cursing Tendulkar. I was saying, stay down your end, keep away from Sehwag, just let him go. Because, you know, I think when a guy's in that mood, just let him go. But, you know, I mean,
it's good to see. You watch a cricket match. Do you keep track? How many matches have you played and how many have you watched, therefore gross number? Because you still get excited. I see you at cricket matches and you come up in the morning and you still get excited watching cricket. And I hope that never stops.
Well, so do I. I mean, and I think I'm a very fortunate person that I've been able to, you know, work in a job where you really love going to work. And I mean, people say to me, oh, do you get sick of it? Do you get bored with it? And I say, mate, I could easily be working down a coal mine. You know, this is much better than working down a coal mine. But, you know, the thing that I enjoy is I sit there and watch a cricket match as a commentator and I'm captaining, in my mind, I'm captaining both sides.
You still are?
I'm captaining both sides.
Still?
Yeah.
Oh,
you know, how would, you know, how, if Australia are down, you know, what could they do to, you know, get, and I think it's part of my job as a commentator to try and tell the people that. I mean, for a number of reasons. One, it's my job. But two, I think rather than bang people over the head and say, this is exciting, you should stay and watch that. I mean, if I'm sitting at home in my lounge and some commentator says to me, this is exciting, you should stay and watch, I'll say, mate, you let me be the judge of what I think's exciting and whether I'm going to stay and watch. But you can do it subtly by saying, you know, look, Ricky Ponting's having a bit of trouble with a hook shot at the moment, and Kamar Roach has got him in trouble with that short one. And I think you'll find somewhere in this next over coming up, Kamar Roach will probably try and get one about, you know, straight at Ponting so that the hook shot goes in the air. Stuff like that. Now, hopefully the guy's sitting in his lounge and he moves forward and he says, you know, and he's watching. He's watching it either to see if that happens, or if it doesn't happen, he's going to say, that dope Chappell, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But you're giving the viewer a reason to continue watching the game, a subtle reason, not banging him on the head and saying, mate, this is going to be exciting.
Good to talk to you. I'm delighted that you enjoy watching the game, because sometimes you can watch the game and as a former captain you can say, I know it all, and get cynical, or you can say the game's never as good as it was during my era, which a lot of former cricketers get into. I hope you continue to be as refreshing and enjoy just talking about the game.
Well, I love the game, and you should never think that you know it all, because you'll always be surprised. Every day you go to the cricket, you'll be surprised.
Can I give you a word of advice though?
Yeah, sure.
Do come in 5 or 10 minutes late sometimes. It'll make me feel a lot better. There you are, Ian Chappell. Always great fun to talk to Ian Chappell, not just on the issue of captaincy, but generally on his observations in the game. And next time I sit in the commentary box with Ian Chappell, I'm actually going to sit and see if he's gesticulating to see where the field should be. But that's part of the fun of being with Ian Chappell.